Hey guys, Beach Billy, Outdoor Dog Supply.
And I'm Emmy Gray, and we're here with Outdoor Dog Supply, and today we're going to be showing y'all the difference between the new TT25s, T20s, TT15s, TT15 minis, and all the other collars that we've had in the past to show y'all how much of an upgrade these new collars are going to be.
Obviously, the first thing you're seeing is some colorful lights you've probably never seen in the past. As we all know, the first lights came out with the TT10s. Those were the first collars that corrected. You know, that was the kind of a game changer for the industry itself. I remember when they first came out, you know, people were saying that, hey, you know, they were too expensive, they'd never go, people don't need correction, and pretty much now it became the industry standard. So with time, we've seen it change to the TT15 collar. Then they came out with a mini collar, which has really been for all your rabbit dogs, squirrel dogs, your trial guys love them. You know, the biggest difference was battery life was always very, very harsh with these because you pretty much got a full hunting day out of them on a 2.5-second update, but that was it. You know, you couldn't leave a dog out. It had a lot of negative benefits to it too. So here we're going to show you and kind of update you on what the new 25s and T20s have to offer.
Alrighty guys, so my favorite feature personally of the new collars is of course going to be the 7 different color modes that they now offer. Hopefully in the future Garmin's going to come out with a few more, but for right now it's just a 7. I'm always wondering, what dog is in the front? In the day you can always tell, but at night there's no 100% way to tell who's leading your pack. And I personally, once a week, have been using these collars, and I can distinctly tell the difference between each one of these colors when the dogs are running in the woods.
All right, guys, and now you can see, we wanted to turn the light off. You can see the different colors are still very bright. We have some blinking, we have some. To compare the old mini, versus the others. So this now in the middle is the new TT25 collar. Which is going to be the same as the T20. And then on the left is your mini, old mini. And on the right is your standard TT15, TT10, T5. Now, facing forward, you can see that really there's not a huge amount of difference as far as forward goes. But what you are going to find is if you compare it to the TT15 standard, when you turn them to the side, the light on the new 25 is still very visible, keeping your dog much safer, having visibility from the side better, where, you know, you could see a little bit from the old TT15, but there's really no comparison. If you go to the mini collars where they had rounded the lights just a little, you can still see that there's just no comparison at nighttime as far as the visibility from the side or even candy quartered away a little bit. The new collars are much brighter and a whole lot more visible. Okay, and I'll tell you my favorite is it's going to be the battery life. And let me tell you a new feature that is in the new 25 collars that we do not have in the older collars. So when you first had the TT10s come out, it was great. Battery life on a 2.5-second update was around, it was about 24 hours. If you went to a 5-second update, you got 30-something hours out of it. That's pretty much how the TT15s were. Same thing. So battery life stayed the same for a long time. Mini collars were around 15 hours on a 2.5-second update. If you went to 5 seconds, you would get about 24 hours out of them. When the TT15X came out, now that was a big game changer. I mean, we were seeing about 70 hours on a 2.5-second update. That was a very, you know, that's on your large collars, and that is something that people that have used them absolutely, once you go with that long battery life, you can hunt 2 or 3 days at a time, not having to worry about your chargers. You can leave dogs out if you have to. You can leave dogs in a pen, not have to worry about batteries going dead in a short amount of time, especially if you're in an area you don't know. So it's a huge, huge plus. Now with the new 25 collars, even with the standard collars, they have what you call a dynamic mode. This is something that none of the other collars have had in the past. The dynamic mode, it is basically a smart mode that when your dog is in a truck, moving over a certain speed, it kicks it into a truck mode. When the dog is sitting still or laying down or not moving, it kicks it into a slower mode also, a 10-second update mode, which saves battery life an enormous amount. And what we're seeing is we're seeing this collar get the same life as the X collar was when it's in the dynamic mode, around 70 hours. We've been using it. You really cannot even see a difference with that. All the test collars, all the stuff we've done, I could never, the only time I could tell is it would go into your truck mode, and other than that, when the dog's running, it would always kick back, and it runs on a 2.5-second update when your dogs are moving. So now with the new extended life TT25 collar, double that. I mean, literally 140 hours is what you can, almost expect, or somewhere close if you're in that dynamic mode of a collar without having to do another thing. You don't have to put it to sleep. You don't have to put it in sleep mode. You're getting days and days of battery life. So really, you're looking at 70 hours with the basic, and you're looking at up to 140 hours with the extended battery life. So again, battery that's a huge jump in your old TT15s and your TT15 minis, and then it has a huge advantage over the X with the smart mode in it.
One of my other favorite features is going to be the variety and size in which these collars can fit. I've ran them on my smallest beagle with the standard adapter, as well as I know people who have ran them with hounds, and they have worked perfect for any size dog that's needed. I ran all season long this collar right here on my 13-inch beagle. I personally had the 3/4 strap on there at the time, but 1 inch would fit him perfectly fine too, and it worked great. I love the rounded corners that they now offer rather than the regular standard 15. These are more, in my opinion, shaped like a mini, which I love the rounded shape of a mini compared to the regular boxy 15.
Let's go ahead and get into the next biggest feature by far. This is something everybody's going to love. Here's a great difference between the collars. These now have interchangeable parts. I don't know how many of you guys have had to send TT10s, TT15s off where the wire's gotten broke or it's lost GPS connection. Now it's not but 2 screws, and you can replace. It's just a plug in, unplug, and you now have a new GPS antenna. They've also done to where they have the GPS antennas in 2 different sizes, and they're coming out with a heavy duty one that we have not seen yet, but it's supposed to be kind of for your hog hunters, your bear hunters. It's supposed to be a stiffer, much stronger GPS receiver as well, and hopefully that'll be an option here soon. We just haven't gotten in our hands yet.
And then this is what the collar looks like itself with that smaller adapter on it. Personally, you can see it shrinks down the collar to almost nothing. It can fit on the smallest neck, any puppies, anything like that in a pen. So it definitely, even though the regular adapter works for most size necks, this really takes it down.
You can also add additional lights on the top with these, very easy. People want to put a slide name tag. It also gives a lot of options, and we did a lot of testing with these, and personally we can see no difference in GPS reception with the longer one or the shorter one. So we're very, very happy with all the testing of those. The next is going to be batteries. In the past, I don't know if anybody's changed batteries out in the collars, but you almost had to be a little neurosurgeon trying to get the thing to plug back in, screw the stuff. It's a plug and play now. Once you take your 6 screws out, you pop this one off, make sure that your O-ring's on there, and you can pop your new battery, whether it's the extended life or the regular. Again, it's just a much, much more customer-friendly collar, and it's a collar that we're going to be able to maintenance for a long time, versus having to send it back to warranty or just not being able to do anything with it at all. So we're very happy that they have listened to us, and we now have interchangeable parts if we do have a problem. Another feature that these collars do, now this is something that's been in the 15s and some people didn't realize with the minis. It was also in the X's. The new collars have 2. They have a sleep mode feature like used to be in the minis, but they really have that fixed very well where you can put the collar to sleep and then come back 2 days later and turn it back on. And literally that feature uses almost no battery life. You could get weeks out of a collar if you left it on a sleep mode. So in all our testing, they're definitely gotten that to where it's working way, way better. And, so again, that's another feature that really, really adds to these, as well as these collars, they have their own memory. So if you're not tracking a dog or you leave him in a pen for 3 or 4 days and you want to see what he did, you'll be able to go back in, plug this collar into the computer, go to Basecamp, or your Garmin Explorer app, and it's going to download what this dog did the entire time. That is an incredible feature for the fact that you don't have to be tracking him with the box. Anything happens, You're not tracking them, you'll also know. So the collars themselves have a record in them as well as just the box itself. Those are the major new features. As you can tell, I really think that this is a home run with Garmin. It's a big upgrade. You know, we've had this collar in this shape for a long time. I'm happy that they've increased everything about it. They've made it better looking. They've made it really feel more durable. They've taken the bulkiness out of it. They've made it as sleek and nice as a mini collar, but added to where the lights are more visible, and battery life is literally, you know, 5-6 times what the mini was. And then if you do the extended life, it's that much more. So, and like I said, and this is something I can say, and I've talked to the engineer, another is in all the pre-testing, we have had 0 failures. 0. So I'm not going to say, knock on wood, we know that there's been some issues in the past. When the TT15Xs came out, there was some issues. I really think they've worked hard. It's a lot better electronics in here. A lot of this has gone to solid state, and there's less things in here that can fail on top of it. Really appreciate you watching the video today. Remember, we trade in all this old equipment. We get boxes of trade-ins daily. We also warranty in-house. That's another huge thing for y'all's convenience. You know, if you bought something from us 5 years ago, we still take care of the warranty process. It's typically much quicker than going through Garmin themselves.
On top of that, when you do order your collars, we have over 30 color options for you that come free with the collar, as well as a 3/4 and 1-inch strap for these new collars.
Yep. It gives you lots of options to choose from. Have multiple dogs, you're able to do that. You're able to match the colors if you want to on your straps.
On top, we do offer a free up to 4-line name tag to put on your collar just for that extra security, that when you put your collar in the woods, it's going to come back to you with your information on it.
And your dog. It always extra information is never a bad thing. So
not at all.
We appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoy your new collars when you get them in. But I think y'all are going to see, as you can see, we're very happy. There's a lot of great upgrades. Thank you.
Yes.